This is my feeling about the book, guys.
Awesome.
I mean, I was kind of like, I should make that face because that's kind of how you feel about this book. You're like, grin and bear it a little bit. So this month we read Until the End of the World by Sarah Lyons Fleming, whose name, oh, nope, I am not talking to you, phone. It's an apocalypse novel with zombies.
It's more like a love story with a zombie side effect.
Adrian.
No, it's more like a gardening book with a zombie side.
Adrian.
Adrian.
Oh, sorry.
Adrian.
So dreamy.
I kept doing the Rocky thing.
Adrian.
Every time I was like, secretly this is totally a chick. And she's
that would have made it more interesting.
It would have. Real quick, we've got Ness here today.
Hello.
And we've got. Do you go by Amy or Rosie?
I use Rosie on the podcast, but I don't really care because I have terrible secret identity powers. So Amy's fine.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know which one to go by. I should have asked you this earlier. We'll go with Rosie since you do Rosie on the podcast. Rosie's joining us. She's also one of our book club members. Others had to miss due to family emergencies and whatnot's going on. Fun times. Sports ball. It's cool. As long as 3 of us can get together, the plan is to have monthly meetups, no matter what. So we're here to discuss a book. So I guess, Ness, you tell me your thoughts since you didn't finish it.
I did not finish it. It took way too long to read, but I will finish it. I guess I was expecting it to be a lot worse, given like yours and Amelia's tweets about how bad it was. So it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, but it still wasn't great. I mean, it's better than the last book we read.
Oh, totally. Like, it is, and it was free. So, like, all of our opinions are definitely tinged with that, like, thing of, like, well, the book was free, so how picky am I going to be?
Yeah.
You know, like, when I pay 99 cents for, like, a trashy romance book, and it's like, okay, I'll give it 3 stars. Because it was okay, and it was 99 cents. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
Now, if I paid $10 and it's shit, I'm pissed.
Mad.
You know, there's, like, that balancing thing.
Yeah. But it was not a good book.
No.
It was not objectively a good book.
No, definitely not. Rosie, your thoughts?
Well, you know, there are a number of things I was trying to put my finger on to identify why isn't this a good book. Besides the fact that it's not well written, I can't.
And there's no plot. And
well, you know,
the plot is Adrian. That is the plot.
Adrian.
But I couldn't put it down. I mean, I read it all in last Sunday. I read it all in a day, and I'd say to my husband, I said I would do XYZ thing, but I'm gonna go finish that awful book now. And he was laughing at me because I couldn't stop reading it, but it was terrible, but compelling terrible. I don't know.
It kind of was, though.
Well, the characterizations really, really disappointed me. When you name a guy Nellie, and then wait, like, I don't know, 20 more pages before you describe him, the mental picture of a little scrawny gay dude named Nellie does not align with the description of a great big Texan who shoots guns all the time. I just could, and I had to go like, what? I couldn't reconcile myself to who she imagined he was supposed to be and who I imagined he was supposed to be, and that tainted the entire story. Every time they would talk about, like, sharing a bed or sharing a sleeping bag or whatever, I pictured 2 little wafy people, and then I had to remind myself, oh no, he's a great big dude.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that, just really...
I love our feelings on this book. Do you guys want to roll right into questions?
Let's do it.
The questions explore every issue. All right, our first one. Did anyone else assume that... Oh my god, what's her name? What's the main character's name?
Girl.
Shit.
Crap, what's her name?
We should just call her Paige, because she kind of reminds me of Paige.
Hang on, I'm looking.
Cassie.
Cassie, yes.
Cassie.
How can we forget?
All right, Cassie.
She's such a
Did
memorable
anyone
character.
else assume that Cassie was about 18 or 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she suddenly reveals that she's 28.
Right?
Well, you know what? If I were 28 years old and working at a job I loved, and my 4 best friends from high school all worked there too, I think I would be living in a fantasy novel. That's why I assume they were 18. They all work together. That's a thing you do when you work like at the yogurt shop down the street.
Yeah, I immediately was like, she's supposed to be my age basically. Like
Right.
I'm 27. Like
she's 2 years
she's supposed to be my age. Like what? No. Like I was like, absolutely not.
Right, and she's
Not
been
how
through
someone
some
my
shit.
age. Yeah, I know. I'm like, this is not how somebody in my age like group generally acts. So like, no. I just like I put the book down. I was like, no. Already at the beginning, I was like, oh fuck.
I felt like everybody skewed young. Like I don't know how old the author is, but I feel like she must be 167 and no longer has any idea how people at any age act.
Or is she younger than that age, so she thinks
That's how people that old act? Yeah. I don't know.
I did not look up how old she is.
But like Anna seemed like she was a very young, like a teen or a tween.
Yeah,
Anna
she
was a
totally
twat.
seemed like a freaking 13-year-old sister.
Yeah.
Like
But she's 25. Like what?
I know.
My 15-year-old daughter acts better than that little girl.
That's why I say like 13, 12, like that really hard stage of, you know.
Yeah.
Rattiness. Yeah.
Bad. Annoying.
Oh, well, the author is a prepper, so that explains everything.
So she wanted to write a book, basically, like, look, we're totally normal, you guys.
Yeah.
I should have guessed that she was a prepper.
I kind of thought she probably was. Okay, do you think this is how the zombie apocalypse would happen in a way? Like, just this random outbreak, nothing like, nobody really knowing what's going on and not really reacting at all until it's too late?
I could see that.
I just feel like we're so exposed to, like, and I said this, like, we're so exposed to zombie stuff now, I feel like the reaction would be much quicker.
I don't know, but maybe we'd just, because we're so exposed to it, people would just be like, meh, it's not so bad, right? Like, the Walking Dead guys have survived zombies, so...
See, I just feel like that means everyone thinks they can survive it when they can't.
But that's kind of like what people were doing in New York when they first heard about it, right? They're like, we're going to go loot, and we can totally take these dead dudes who are going to bite our faces off.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It was such a weird how it happened. I don't know. I guess it was a cliche, like, disease break out, you know, and then suddenly everyone's, like, gone mad. All right, who would live? Who's going to die of the three of us?
I would totally die.
I'd be dead.
I'll survive.
I don't know how to can stuff.
I know how to can, I know how to garden, I know how to shoot guns, I know how to shoot a bow, I know how to shoot a crossbow, I know how to use knives. Come to my house, you will live.
Well, if I sew for you, can you keep me alive?
Yes.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Then I might live.
Bunker. We have meat in freezers. We're good to go.
Okay, not on this list of questions that we have, but really, did it strike anybody else as odd that they could run the generator for like 2 hours a day and keep everything frozen?
Mm-mm.
No, that would work.
That would work.
Yeah, if you don't open the freezer, because everything in there is frozen, so it would keep.
Yeah, because we have like 2 freezers of like game meat, and if the power goes out, like we just don't open them, and they're fine.
Stay okay. Yeah.
Yeah, everything stays fine. So I would imagine minimal issue, because those, and that type of freezer is so cold, like they're much colder than like your regular fridge freezer.
Okay.
So I think so.
And it was winter too, and it's in a basement, so it's already going to be cooler down there.
As long as you're smart about when you open and close it, I think you'd be good.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think that they would be able to open it every day like they had been.
No, I don't either. I know. I was thinking that. I was like, that. I don't know if that would work.
No.
They got
But-
really cavalier, though, about walking between the houses, John's
Yeah.
house and their house, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude, there's freaking zombies out there, and they're going to find you. It's just a matter of time. Stay
Well, and
inside.
And that Neil guy, too, like, wandering around,
Mhm.
raping women and killing people. Like, do you really want to be out there?
Right.
Well, he should have been taken out a lot sooner. Let's be real. That guy, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Somebody else should have had to have taken him out before all that semi-action happened.
Well, like Sam, the
The sheriff.
sheriff.
Yeah, should have
yeah.
taken care of him. Okay, was anyone else or like super put off by the 122 chapters
Yes.
Yeah.
in a 400-page book?
Yeah.
It felt like she didn't have the stamina to write connections, like to just write a longer chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of just like, I'm going to write a vignette, and then I'm just going to call that a chapter and move on to the next one.
I mean,
It's stylistic. I mean, maybe that's her thing. I don't. But it, there was at least one chapter that wasn't even a full page, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Separate them. I don't know. Separate them with asterisks or something. Don't go
Right,
in.
exactly. Like, do something.
I'm looking at the audiobook right now. The longest chapter in the audiobook is 13 minutes, and that's the second chapter. Wait, no, 26 minutes is the longest chapter.
Okay, can we talk about this? I'm listening to the Alexander Hamilton biography on audio right now, and the shortest chapter is an hour.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he's more interesting.
Yes.
But yeah, so the longest chapter is 26 minutes. And
That's outrageous.
There is literally a 1 minute 37-second chapter.
Yeah.
Most of the chapters are in the 3 to 5 minute range, which is insane. Like I've been listening to Harry Potter on audio, and most of the chapters are about 20 minutes. Whoa.
Chapter 96.
Well, I hit play on accident. Anyways, I listen to audiobooks, so yeah. That was like the weirdest thing. I was like, wait, it's another chapter already? And I went and scrolled through it and I was like, what are you doing?
It felt disjointed.
Yeah, like it was like jarring to me to have a book so broken up and not like...
I think, though, that this actually answers the next question, too. I think it wasn't long enough to be a legitimate book. So they added a lot of non-action and a lot of chapter breaks so that it could be 400 pages instead of 200 or 150 or not quite long enough to be real.
It's one of those things that would have benefited almost from just being a novella.
I was just going to say the same thing. Like, it would have been great to have it be the Spindle City length.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been... I would read the whole series.
Yeah.
Like, no problem.
There was just so like the Adrian crap was extraneous, all the flashbacks was extraneous, the romance with Peter was extraneous. Like, cut all that bullshit out. Who
Well,
cares?
and like the action, like the little bits you got, just made me like more sad because all we fucking talked about was canning, prepping, and driving places.
Yeah, like have more of the action and more of them preparing for the action, but not by planting vegetables.
Well, or even
eating. They ate a lot too.
They ate a lot.
Yeah, but even if it wasn't, killing the zombie action, something that shows the time. I mean, they were there. They got there in the winter, and they left in the spring. So they were there for months, and the passage of time felt like, I don't know, 3 weeks maybe.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they were. And now that you mentioned that, I did not feel like they were there all winter even.
Yeah. So
I guess they weren't they?
Right, because they got there in the winter. Where I am now, it's like turning to fall again. So they must have been there for like a year before they moved on.
That's nuts.
Oh my god. Oh, you're right. Holy shit.
Yeah. See, and none of that ever.
Makes me sad, guys.
Yeah.
So sad.
Maybe preppers have no sense of time.
I don't know because I'm not a prepper.
Yeah.
And I don't know any preppers because I just think it's
A little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not crazy. Extreme. People do
extreme.
extreme things. I do extreme things, but prepping isn't one of them.
I do like how. Okay, did you guys like how Cassie explained why her mom had all the food and stuff?
That. I thought was
okay,
really
that
great.
makes sense. Like, I got that. I was like, okay, their prepping thing makes more sense to me with how she explained it.
Yeah.
And it was less of like, you're really in an extreme weird place. And more like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
well, it's right. It's like how people, like my grandparents grew up during the Depression, and they still when they still had their house, that's what they would do, is they always had supplies of food in the basement, and they were always, like, they would not throw things away. They use things over and over again. And I kind of got the same sense from Cassie's mom, having grown up very extremely poor.
Yeah,
That she
definitely.
was
Yeah.
the same kind of thing.
I was like, that is a really nice touch and a good thought process to, like, justify it.
Well, and it made her dad seem a little less nutso, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, like with Nellie, I couldn't rectify how she described him by his actions compared to how she described his personality. They didn't mesh for me until we got into the mom's thing and understood why she was the saver of stuff. And that actually cracked me up on a personal level, because my mom was raised during the Depression, and we had Cool Whip containers as Tupperware my entire life.
Yep.
And just in abundance.
Okay, Peter, what was the point?
What was the fucking point?
Did you hate it when he showed back up, or were you happy he was alive?
I didn't care either way.
Okay.
Like, him and Anna, I was just like, don't care. They've died down there. It's a
The
plot
only
point.
character I liked was Bits.
Yeah. Bits and Nellie. That's a
Yep.
show I would watch.
Nellie. But I was really hoping, when they said, you've got somebody here to see you, and before they said the thing about $400 jeans, I was hoping it was her brother.
I was
That's
I was
what I wanted.
really hoping it was going to be the brother. And I thought it was the brother because I wasn't thinking about it when I heard the Jean part, and I was like, oh, it's her brother, and I was like, oh wait, never mind. That's
Sad
not her
face.
brother. There is a novella about Peter and his
Why?
like adventure, apparently.
Peter or Eric?
No, Peter.
Between
What
the time
adventure
he
did
fought,
have?
he fought off the
Between
zombies
him-
from the trash can.
Yeah, him getting left and then getting to the camp.
I don't care.
There's like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
could
have
not
book.
care less.
I'm just saying. I was like, okay. All right.
I think it was to make Adrian jealous, and honestly, the way Adrian was described as this amazing, fantastic, blah blah blah, when he has his one little outburst of like, "You never told me you guys were dating," that was completely out of character.
Yeah, it was.
And-
It felt very out of character from how he was described.
Yeah, and I didn't like that at all. But I really think the whole point of the Peter thing was to create tension in the beginning and then to make Adrian jealous.
All right, the flashbacks. Ness hated them.
I hated them. They
I
were the
hated
worst.
them. Like, I think the one to Adrian, fine, but like every other one was too much.
There was one like every chapter. It was unnecessary. Like, we don't need to know every single thing that ever happened in their relationship.
But we do, you see, because we need to understand why her and Peter aren't good for each other and why her and Adrian are perfect.
I think
Adrian-
meeting Peter showed why she and Peter weren't good for each other.
I know.
Like, we got that. We don't need all this hundreds of pages of exposition.
Weren't there
Okay.
flashbacks though with her mom and dad?
Yeah, kind of, but a lot of them had to do with Adrian too. Like,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
a lot of them had to do with
Adrian.
Adrian still, so it was like weird. All right, what about her? Do you think her brother's alive or you think he's dead? I think he's dead.
I think he's deadsies.
I want him to be alive because everything else came out perfect in the end.
But
So of course
that's
he
not how
is.
the zombie
He's super
apocalypse
dead.
works.
Dude,
Everybody dies.
Peter
and you're by
left,
yourself.
and Adrian still loves her. So clearly, how the zombie apocalypse works is irrelevant.
Do we ever find out what happened to Maria?
No, he's dead.
What the hell? That's the only other person that's the only person I wanted to know about. Does Maria live?
I think
I don't
she's
know about Henry and his family.
I think she's deadsies. Like, I think.
I would like to know about Henry.
Oh yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
Henry and his family too. I think
Uh,
everybody is dead. Like, you don't stay with the main group, you die, basically.
Yeah. This obviously explains why there's 2 more books. We have to find out what happened to Henry and his family and her brother.
Eric.
No. We
Actually,
don't.
secretly, we just have to find out about her and Adrian rebuilding the world after the apocalypse.
They're gonna repopulate
Yeah,
it, guys.
they're
It'll
going to be
fine.
Adam and Eve.
It's going to be just their babies everywhere.
It'll be fine. That won't end badly.
How cute. So cute. Can you handle it? You're like, I'm gonna fucking puke.
I don't know, man. I get to pick the book the next couple months. We might have to read the next.
Oh god. Don't make me. I have a terrible book in reserve.
Okay, well that's cool. You know, because Amelia and I live in the same town, and she could actually physically hit me if I did
Yep.
that. So
Yeah, we will send her
I'm not.
after you.
I wouldn't want to mess with Amelia. She's
We went to the gym together a couple weeks ago. Pooh, she's an Amazon. I am not messing with her.
She's She-Hulk, man, for sure.
Totally.
I would not mess with Amelia.
Nope.
She's gonna like tweet us after she watches this and be like, "That's right."
Don't fuck with me, bitches. That's right.
The romance.
Who cares?
It was like I did not
novel.
care about Peter and Anna because I hated Anna. I hated Peter because they were so self-obsessed and like not how people would be during the zombie apocalypse, I feel like.
The only people whose romance I was vaguely interested in, and we never got enough of it, was the other couple, her best friend, and then the guy they worked with, whose name
Penny and James.
They were darling.
I liked them.
James
I liked
seemed
Penny
like
and James.
James seemed like her, Penny's Adrian. So I wish that they had developed those characters a little bit more.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like there were just too many characters, and she did not really spend enough time developing the ones that were likable and
do not like. It's hard for me to like immediately recall the names. Like I didn't remember the main character's name because there's so many characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just constantly like, wait, who is this? Who's that?
Yeah.
So, we want a book about Nellie, author, so please make that happen.
Yeah.
Nellie and Bits, like running around the country, being as superheroes, it'd be so good. A little buddy comedy with them,
it'd be adorable.
That would be awesome.
Our last question. This is gonna be a short one. The gay trope.
Why did they have to make Nellie a trope? Like, why did he have to be a stereotype when instead he could have been amazing?
Maybe
I feel like he was still cool. Like, I still like him. But it was, like, so uncomfortable, like, when it was like, oh, well, he's not that kind of gay. And I just...
Yeah.
No. Like, no. That's not a thing. It's like, that's just a sexuality. That doesn't determine his personality or how he should act or any of these things. Like, don't say that. Like, please. Yeah. You should know better. But she didn't.
Yeah. It was not. It was not good. And I feel like how he acted in the beginning was super tropey, and then he kind of just developed into a better character.
Yeah, it was like, it was like you didn't know he was like this not gay stereotype at first, and then it was suddenly like the twist of like, oh well, he's not really like that, and you're like, but you wrote him as like the like gay BFF thing at the beginning, and then suddenly it's like, no, he's this hulking like Texas boy.
Yeah, because I thought in the beginning, I thought he was like a twink. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I thought he was just a little frivolous, kind of flamboyant. I don't know.
Yeah.
Clearly not who he was supposed to be. Although I do love his characters, and he got some good lines.
Oh, yeah. He had some of the best writing.
Yeah.
And he benefited from a lot of character development, which made me wish there was more character development for the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he showed where she could write well, as the others showed where her writing lacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She could have benefited from an editor, I feel like. Telling her to kill... Like, she clearly liked Peter and Anna because they got a lot of screen time versus some of the other
a lot
characters.
of screen time for somebody that never went anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of screen time of, like, just hurry up and get together already because I don't care from Cassie, and a lot of not doing that.
Right.
Do you guys want to hear a sample of the audiobook?
Yes. Always.
The parking lot of the Radio Shack's strip mall is strewn with vehicles. It looks like someone attempted to build a barricade using metal drums in front of the nail salon. They're lined up 3 deep in a semicircle under the overhang. The lot is empty, though, and anyone who used it is long gone.
So it was not bad.
Is that at 1.5 times?
That's at 1.2. Hold on.
Let's hear it at normal.
We haven't traveled this far from the house yet, but Radio Shack's our best bet for the electrical stuff we need. James points out the window. Hey, there's an automotive parts store.
Oh,
We'll get the
no.
marine batteries there, I bet. Then we won't have...
I was able to listen to it at that, though, like the whole time and not be bothered.
The pauses must be really long in normal speed because they seemed fine.
Isn't that weird? Like, so, like,
Yeah.
like I'm listening to Harry Potter at 1.25 because I can, like, I can't listen to podcasts sped up, but I can listen to most audiobooks around that speed, fine. But if I put it at 1.5 or faster, I'm like, wait, what did they say? Like, it sounds like a run-on sentence. And this, I was like, fine.
Yeah.
No, like, I mean, you can hear a slight difference, but it's not significant. So I can't imagine how. Which it's sad because I thought that the voice lady did a really good job. The voice actor, like the narrator, I think she did a good job.
The voice lady. I like that.
I was trying to think of what to call her. I was like, I guess it's a voice actor, right?
Yeah, it's a narrator, right? Like,
Narrator, whatever. She did a good job. She did like slight voices for people, but not like overdone where you're like, stop. Don't do that. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys have ever listened to like Game of Thrones. Like the guy that does that is incredible and ruined me because he has a voice for like every freaking character.
That's impressive, given how many.
And they're all
Yeah,
different.
right?
Yeah.
And they all sound good. So now when I hear ones that I don't think sound good, it bugs me.
Yeah, fair.
Because then I think of him like doing really good voices. You know what I mean? Like somewhere they do the voice and you're like, what are you doing? Just
Right, where
keep
like
reading the
a
book.
dude will be doing it, and the women's voices will be like squeaky or very breathy.
Yeah, like she did like an okay job, I thought. Like a good job, really, for what the book is.
Right.
To like talk for other people besides the narrator of Cassie. Yeah, it wasn't a bad listen. Besides the fact that the book was just
Yeah. It's not even bad enough to be funny. Like it wasn't.
I know.
It wasn't so bad that I
Yeah.
like the Highland book was so bad that it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. This was just like it was bad, but
It was mediocre.
yeah, like it was so mediocre that it was recommended to me in a book group I'm in, and I was really excited. I was like, oh cool, it's free, this will be a good pick. You know, it's Valentine's Day month, so you know, hearts and flowers, like let's read about the apocalypse.
Woo-woo!
Makes sense.
Totally.
And then I was just like, man, no.
I feel like if it was half as long, it could have been a good book.
If it was 200 pages, I think it would have been a good book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is so weird to be like, I wish this book was shorter, because it would have been good.
Right?
Well, or more well written. Same length, but with more
Yeah.
character development and more something going on.
She needed an editor. Ness is right.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah.
All right, Amy or Rosie, I'm going to end up calling you both on book club, I bet.
I don't care.
What is your rating out of 5 stars? We'll wrap this up.
3 chicken nuggets.
That's right. We do chicken nuggets now. Come
Oh,
on.
that's right, out of chicken nuggets. So you'd eat 3 chicken nuggets for this one.
Three chicken nuggets.
Ness, I know you're not done, but
I wish I could give it 1.5 chicken nuggets. So I'm gonna round down and give it. Well, I'll round up and give it 2, I guess.
I'm like right in the 2.5 chicken nugget range as
Yeah.
well. Like it is the most middle of the road book I think I've read this year.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could do halves.
We don't really. We do like the Goodreads system.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was rounding up to 3 because it was free.
See, and I rounded down instead of up. Normally I'd round up, but I don't. This doesn't deserve my round up on Goodreads for
No,
score.
exactly. No,
Is
no.
the problem.
No, it's not a 4 book.
Well, it doesn't deserve a 3. Like I feel like.
No. What is the rating on Goodreads? Let's see.
Let me pull that.
It's got a 4.21.
How?
Goodreads.
Who's reading it?
From
Who's rating it?
2,269 ratings.
So people are loving this book.
People in my thing, like I have someone who gave it a 3 in my friends list. I see a lot of higher, and then I see other like low ratings. It's a mix.
Yeah, 5 has the most, followed by 4, 3, and then 2 and 1 stars are pretty low.
Of course. People are dumb.
Yeah. This is horror? Not really.
No.
No, because
Yeah,
this was like the least,
Like
the most readable zombie
Yeah.
thing ever. Because usually I don't read it because I don't like reading about the like uck and ugh, you know.
I hate zombie shit. And at first I was like, ugh, you guys are making me read a zombie thing. I don't want to. But then I realized it's not a zombie.
Well, we try not to pick stuff that's like gonna make you like uncomfortable for sure. I feel like
Right.
unless it's uncomfortable sex, then we do pick those books.
That we do on purpose.
But that's
like
different.
the pancakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's more readable than violence to me. So
Right. We try
like
not
I don't
to
get
do
all like
sexual
queasy.
violence. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, you get queasy maybe for a different reason, that they're using syrup as lube. That is a yeast infection waiting to happen, my friends. Don't do that.
Oh boy. Book club's
Right.
a yeast infection waiting to happen sometimes.
Whew.
All right, so yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. Ness, you want to tell us real quick about your pick for next month?
Yes, I picked, and I have not read this book yet, but I have picked it up from the library, Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. It was wrecked in a podcast I listened to from Book Riot, and it sounds amazing. It's got, like, people of color and women and magic and bad things happening. It's supposed to be really good.
Sounds right up our alley, actually, and I'm excited for a good book.
Yes. I had 2 picks ready, and after reading this one, I was like, no, we need a good one. We need a legitimate
I
book.
honestly thought this was going to be good because
Yeah.
I had people saying it was good.
Well, and it's
And
really
the
highly
reviews.
rated. Yeah.
I know. I was like, okay, like maybe it'll be a 3 for us. Like even if we don't love it, it's not awful, and it was just so mediocre. Oh boy, I'm
So
sorry,
disappointing.
guys.
It's alright. It could be worse.
Let's all go can some food for the Super Bowl.
You know, my mom cans food all the time.
I do too, but this was
I
a
like
lot
to
of
can food.
This was a lot of canning in a zombie book.
Yeah.
It's not a book
A
about
lot.
gardening, guys.
Well, my mom,
Gardening and canning.
yeah, my mom lives in a house without about as many people as that zombie house had, and she cans all summer long, and it doesn't last the whole year.
No.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how they got enough stuff in the first crop. I'm just going back to complaining.
No, that's fine.
Uh,
Complain some more.
I don't know how they got enough stuff in their first crop to can enough to last a whole year for the next crop.
I don't
when,
either.
In perfect circumstances, in the Pacific Northwest where the weather is mostly great for growing stuff, they can't do it in the real world. So
Well, no, they're in what, like mid-New York State? There's no way.
Yeah,
The growing season would be so short there.
exactly. So tell me how you canned all those peaches and tomatoes and no, you didn't. No,
Yeah.
you didn't, because you didn't grow that much.
No. Well, especially
were-
with a bunch of people who don't know how to can, too, helping you. There's no way.
And who don't know how to garden?
Right. No. I don't believe it.
Only at that self-functioning farm that magically recycles everything and
Everything.
Yeah,
How about
that's
they even have bacon there?
bacon.
because pigs wouldn't be a waste.
Right.
Right?
They'd be a pet.
I mean,
and
you
then
would
they'd do
need you would
dinner.
want game of some fashion, but I feel like pigs would not be the game of choice to have on the farm.
Well,
I would
like,
think
and-
chickens.
Yeah, and goats. The goats make sense because they provide milk while they're young, and then you can kill them when they don't do milk anymore, and you've got meat.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of chickens, chickens don't lay forever.
That's
Right?
true too. But at
They
least
just-
you could have chicken afterwards.
Well, she was talking about the chickens as though they laid eggs forever and ever and ever until you kill them, but they don't. So
No.
she's just
Just full of crap.
chicken crazy talk, man. Full of
Yeah.
chicken shit.
People, this is how I get like when I read books that have hunting in them, and it's like not done properly, like represented or shows and stuff, and like I get really mad because my whole family hunts and I
Fair.
know about it, and I'm like, this is wrong.
This is how I get when books have journalists in it, and they're
Mhm.
always the bad guy, and they're always doing like unethical things to get stories. It makes me
That's
really
all
mad.
you do, Ness. We know
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's true. It's fine. That's all I do. Anything for a story, right?
Anything. All right. You can follow Rosie on Twitter at Amy_AKA_Rosie. I was like, I gotta read this one, otherwise I'm gonna mess it up. Ness is at Paper by the Ton. I'm at Rabid Gummy Bear. We'll be back in March on the 13th at 4 p.m. Eastern with Nessa's pick. That should be good.
It should be good, guys.
I hope so. Bye, everybody.
Bye.